Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of the For Nerds by Nerds Mandalorian Minute, which will be our new weekly mini episode, or we do about a 20-minute episode breaking down that week's episode of The Mandalorian. I'm Josh.
I am Ben.
With me, as always, is the Han Solo to my Chewbacca.
Do you want to start over?
No, that's good.
Okay. I'm trained.
Yeah.
You got me trained like a fucking animal.
All right. So there'll be no fluff in these episodes. We'll just get right to it.
Yeah.
So we're doing Chapter 9, but you can also view it as Season 2, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian. Season premiere is fantastic. You want to do just general thoughts first,
Yeah,
and then we'll get into some spoiler shit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought it was fantastic.
I didn't think they were going to throw the return so quickly, you know what I mean? I thought they were going to wait a few episodes in before they started giving that Easter egg, and they're like, bam, there you go.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's in your face.
Yeah, there was a lot of, Easter eggs and shit in this episode. Just a lot of cool things you wouldn't think of, and then when you see it, it's like, oh, that makes sense that exists. Like the graffiti on the wall and shit. Like all the anti-rebellion, the anti-empire fuck stormtroopers graffiti all over the walls and stuff.
Yeah, and they pan by at one point, and you see a tag, and it's C-3PO's face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, C-3PO, no shit.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I'm curious to see, because I felt like in the first season it happened, so I'm wondering if it's going to happen with this, and I think it's just more noticeable because it's Disney, so they have a lot more money. Is like the season premieres and the season finales of shows always have a much bigger budget, and they're long. Like this episode's almost an hour, and the rest will only be like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I noticed that this one was a lot longer.
And that's how the first season was too. The first episode's almost an hour, and then the rest are like 28 minutes long.
Do you know what I noticed in this one is I didn't feel like the graphics were as good as last season.
Oh, really? I thought they were really good.
It could be just my TV, but I thought they were just separated from reality a little bit different than last year. Last season, they looked like everything looked real, like it was always in the same room together. But this year, I'm like, I don't know. It looks a little candy.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is a setting on her TV or something.
It could be the TV because, the speeders, when they're riding their bikes, their speeders over the sand side by side, I'm like, it just looks not. It just didn't hold up for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it looked better than last season. So
really? Well, yeah. I guess it's me. It could be me. Could be my shit ass TV
in the studio and watch it on that TV.
Yeah, where graphics don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's get into breaking this down.
Yeah,
hopefully you've all seen the first season of Mandalorian. If you haven't, you need to right now.
Yeah, what the hell's your problem?
Who told me they hadn't? Somebody told me. Fuck, who was it? Where the hell did I go today?
Oh, it was today?
Yeah, it was today. Someone was like, oh, I just started watching The Mandalorian. I was like, you fucking what? You didn't watch it last year? And they were like, no. Oh, it was my stepbrother, Ronnie. He was like, yeah, I started watching The Mandalorian. I was like, you didn't watch it? You fucking love Star Wars.
It's Ronnie.
Mandalorian. I'll just call him The Mandalorian.
Kudos to you, Ronnie.
I don't like his
not following in with the
name.
rest of the crowd.
His name didn't non-conformist.
Yeah, call him Mando.
Yeah, call him the Mando. He's the Mando.
Call him Mando, because that's what everybody calls him. But now they got two Mandos.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So the Mando and the child, right away, right through the gate, they're walking down this very, creepy, dark alley. There's, red-eyed monsters in the darkness and shit.
Yeah, seedy as shit.
And that's where you see all the, fuck stormtrooper graffiti. It's super cool. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're going to this, back alley fight. It's the pigmen from Return of the Jedi, from Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what they're called. We love Star Wars, but we're not we don't know the names of every creature, so
look,
there's
we're
too
dorks
much to fucking
and geeks.
I always thought it looks like Ganon used to look like in Zelda. He
Yes.
used to be like a pig man.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a pretty cool fight. Their weapons are really neat. I don't know if they were supposed to be sonic or
Yeah, there's two of those creatures from Return of the Jedi, and they're like cage fighting almost. It's like boxing, but they have like sonic axes. The axes look real. They just happen to not like kill you.
yeah, it was weird because like if they got real close, you'd like get a like a
Like a
sonic
wave.
yeah a sonic wave and knock you over and stuff.
So Mandalorian's there to talk to kind of a crime lord because he has been tasked with returning the child to his people. So he is looking for other Mandalorians because all the Mandalorians are in hiding to get information off of them to try to help find the child's home planet. And it goes south real quick.
Do you know who that guy was played by?
No.
That character that was John Leguizamo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That
His
is
voice sounded
fantastic.
familiar, and I couldn't place it. I was like,
Yeah, I was
"That's
like,
gotta be somebody."
yeah. I mean, totally. I was like, I've heard this guy. I've heard this guy. I've heard this guy. And then all of a sudden, I read a thing today, and it's like, oh, John Leguizamo starred. I was like, no shit. Now you can hear it.
Yeah.
You can hear the infliction. So it's fantastic. He did a great job with it.
Yeah, so the crime boss turns on him. He wants his armor to sell it because that Mandalorian steel is getting more valuable by the day. But of course, Mando kills everybody.
Yeah,
And,
he's like, tell me where the kid, tell me where the other Mando is, and I'll let you live, or something like that. And he just,
yeah, with a gun to his throat. He's such
You
a
won't-
badass.
you won't die by my hand.
Yeah. He tells him as he gets him outside because he's running away. After he's done killing all his boys, he gets him strung up outside, and he's like, "I'll give you the information you want, just don't kill me." And he's like, "Yeah, you won't die by my hand." And then he says that there's a Mandalorian on Tatooine, and Mando's like, "No, that's bullshit. I know, I've been there. There's no other Mandalorians." And he's like, "Nope, they're there. I promise." He's like, "Okay." And then what happens?
And then he just leaves him hanging there.
And
then
shoots
he
the light
then he
out.
shoots the lights out. So those beady-eyed, I think they were like a jackal almost,
Yeah, we see other like lizard dogs later. They kind of looked like that.
kind of like that. Yeah, like sand creature ones. And then they just attack him, and all you do is hear him screaming until he dies.
Yep.
So it was an epic death.
Yeah, it was an epic intro.
And Mando did not have to do it himself, which is fantastic.
So then the whole rest of the episode spent on Tatooine. He arrives. We see that mechanic lady from season 1.
She's one of my favorite characters, by the way. Yeah.
Is that the Strangers with Candy lady? I don't think it is, but it kind of looks like her.
It could be.
She's the assistant in Elf. She's James Caan's assistant.
Oh, I don't think so, but
It kind of looks like her, but I don't think it is her.
her comedy is fantastic.
Yeah, she's
just,
funny.
She's just like dry, but hilarious at the same time.
And then, so he borrows a speeder from her and gets a location to it's not Mos Eisley's, it's Mos, was it? Mos Pelgo,
Yeah, most Pelgo.
which is not even on the map anymore. It was like a deserted mining town.
So this is set up like a straight up Western, and
Yeah.
I love how they're doing it because the music, the feel, everything is so beautiful. And my wife and I were watching this, and I'm like, it's just like he's riding into town on a horse.
Yeah.
And I
There's
was
even,
like, yeah.
motorcycle noises in the background.
Yeah.
So he rolls up to this town. Everyone's like, oh shit. And he goes in a bar. He's like, I'm looking for a Mandalorian. And the bartender has no idea what he's talking about.
And that bartender's
"I don't know
face
what that
looked
is."
familiar too.
Yeah, his voice sounded familiar.
Yeah.
But then a Mandalorian does come in. Now, do you think anyone was tricked by this?
No, and
No.
I'll tell you how I saw him coming. He was like skinny and gaunt, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is definitely not a true to life Mandalorian. But that's what they said. They said what did you call him? The sheriff or the
Yeah, it was something
What
like
was it
that.
called?
It wasn't the sheriff. The marshal.
marshal? Yeah, the marshal
Yeah.
wears Mandalorian
Marshal
armor.
arrives. Yeah, and he's wearing Boba Fett's armor. And I don't
And-
know if anyone that was like, oh, shit, it's Boba Fett. But yeah, he's way too skinny and tall to be Boba Fett, and it didn't fit him properly.
And what was that guy? Who's the guy that?
That's Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, and
from
he
Justified.
plays that. Yeah, he plays the same character.
Yeah, I love Timothy Oliphant. He's
And
great.
I'm like, I love this guy. And he's from what? Hitman, right?
He's
he was
from Hitman. He's from Justified. He's from a bunch
Justified.
of shit. Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah. Yep. He's an amazing actor.
He's a handsome man.
He's a he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I wish I looked like him.
Yeah, well, hopefully when I go gray, I'll start to look like that.
His
I
name's
don't think I'll have the abs.
his name's is it Cobb? Cab?
Something like that.
Cab Vanth?
Yeah.
They didn't say his name a lot. They just called him Marshall all the time.
Oh, Cobb. Cobb Vant.
Yeah.
Cobb Vanth.
I got Boba
Vanth.
Fett, Timothy Oliphant in my notes here. But yeah, the Mandalorian's immediately pissed because this guy takes the helmet off and is just basically like, I'm the sheriff around here, and he's like,
Yeah, he about pissed
you
himself.
you don't wear Mandalorian armor if you're not a Mandalorian. Like, that is extremely offensive. He's like, I'm taking that, and he's like, no, like, we're gonna fucking fight to the death here.
I really thought there was going to be a battle between the two.
Yeah. Well, it was interrupted by what?
Oh, that it's like an earthquake was coming.
Yeah.
Whole town started squealing and running.
We rolled into the set of Tremors.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, this is familiar territory.
It's a graboid.
So that was the I want to call it
Crate
Crate Dragon.
Yeah, it is Crate Dragon.
Crate Dragon, yeah, Crate Dragon. And it just comes barreling up out of the earth, and each one of those bantas.
Yes, it did.
My wife is like, no, not the banta. That was awesome, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that thing's cool looking. I had heard of a Crate Dragon before, but I'd never seen one. Like you said, they show it in, what is it? The New Hope?
Yeah, the first episode.
Yeah, there's a the original Star Wars, R2-D2 and C-3PO are walking through the desert, and there's this giant dragon skeleton. It's never made sense. I'm always like, why is there a dragon?
Yeah, so now that's the hole I was talking about. They finally closed that gap. Everybody knows what it is now.
Yeah, it's this giant. I thought that thing looked cool.
Yeah, it did.
The graphics for that were awesome.
I thought it was really good, and it looked like a dragon. It had enough dragon feature, even though it was more shaped like a worm with no legs and no wings.
So they go back. They make a deal. He'll give him the armor if he helps him destroy the dragon.
Yeah.
Great dragon. And he's like, all right. That's fair. And they go off. He's on a speeder bike that he borrowed, and Timothy Oliphant's on a speeder that's definitely made out of an engine from a pod racer.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is cool to see, even though I don't really give a shit about pod racing. It's just cool that they threw that in there. Yeah, they come up on some Tusken Raiders. And apparently, the Mandalorian speaks Tusken Raider all of a sudden. just like screaming in sign language.
they're like James Bond, man. They know everything, all the languages, all the everything. So, a little bit of news about the Tusken Raiders. The main character that was the Tusken Raiders, because they were talking in sign language, was actually really deaf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they were sitting in a board meeting. Apparently, they were sitting in a board meeting, and their advisor for American Sign Language, who is not deaf, said, you know what we need? We need a character that's really deaf to bring more depth to this character. And that's what they did. So the main one that you see talking the most was an actual deaf actor.
Oh, that's cool.
Playing Tusken Raider. So they brought a lot of depth to it. That's why it looks so realistic, and the signing was great and everything else. So, they said they were sitting at the table, and they're like, who's missing from this table? Our deaf actor's missing from this table because we need their input instead of me being someone that just knows American Sign Language. We need someone who experiences it.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was I didn't know much about Tusken Raiders or Sand People, whatever you want to call them, until this episode.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot. There's a lot more of them in this episode than they've ever been in anything else.
So I didn't realize that they were sign language people, or that they...
Yeah, well, they're not even like monsters either. Like, underneath all that stuff, they just look like people too.
Someday I can hope during this season that we see one unwrapped.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, we had gotten some backstory to how. I'm just gonna keep calling him Timothy Oliphant because that's what I'm comfortable with. How he got Boba Fett's armor. He right after the second Death Star exploded, his town was taken over by like mining criminals.
Yes.
So he stole something out of their cart, and he didn't know it was full of like crystals, and got lost in the desert, and got saved by Jawas, and they had rescued or salvaged Boba Fett's armor from somewhere.
Yeah, probably from the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
From when he got supposedly eaten. We still don't know how he survived that, but I'm sure we're going to find out. Stay tuned.
So, so they all make a deal that the Tusken Raiders want the crate dragon dead as well. So they're all going to work together, even though they're like they have an uneasy alliance because they don't like each other. The townspeople hate the Tusken Raiders. Tusken Raiders hate the townspeople. But
that's because they've raided their town and killed their people.
Yeah, and they've all killed each other. Yeah, it's a very what is that, Hatfield and McCoy situation?
Yes, definitely. Very precarious.
So they're like, what we're gonna do, the Tusken Raiders know a lot more about these crate dragons, so like we're gonna bury a bunch of explosives right outside the cave that the dragon sleeps in, and when we lure it out, we're gonna blow it up, because the belly is its only weak spot. And I thought that scene was really cool, where they got the giant crossbows and shit.
Yeah.
They're luring this dragon out.
So before that, when they first show up to talk to the Tusken Raiders, and the Mandalorian comes out and makes that weird, because you see the dogs,
yeah, and
like the lizard type
weird
dogs,
noise, yeah,
right. So that's very reminiscent of what
when Obi-Wan did that shit with the Tusken
right
Raiders. Yeah.
So what that is the call of the crate dragon.
Oh yeah.
So that's supposed to scare people off, and that's why Ben Kenobi used it, but that's why those dogs, instead of attacking, they stopped.
Yeah.
Because they know that noise. And that's what that is. That's the call of the crate dragon. I thought that was a really cool little additive, and it's a wicked throwback.
It's always funny to watch him, like, he just makes any noise because you can't see his mouth, so they can just dub in anything.
So true.
Yeah, so they lure the crate dragon out of his cave, and it's a real stubborn son of a bitch.
Yeah.
They just cannot get it out far enough, and even they get all these, like I said, giant crossbows. They're trying to, like, basically like they're fighting a whale.
Yeah, it looked like whale harpoons.
Yeah, they're harpooning it and trying to drag it, and
they're just getting whipped all over the place.
Yeah, it needs to come out a certain amount to hit this, like, stockpile of explosives, and it just isn't. And then even when it does, though, it doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't hurt it. Like,
it's
so
like,
what the fuck?
Its weak spot was not its weak spot, apparently.
Yeah. So it goes underground, and then I got my notes here. We get some jetpack action.
Yeah, it was great. They're like, let's get at this.
Which, didn't they say in the first season when he got his jetpack that your body has to get used to it and shit?
Yeah.
But, like, Timothy Olyphant's not even a Mandalorian. He's just flying around with jetpack.
Well, he's had this armor for quite some time.
He's been practicing. But...
I mean, he knows how to use the rangefinder and shoot that thing off his
cool.
back.
It's uses missile.
Yeah, which I never knew that was a missile growing up.
Really?
I thought that was just part of the jetpack. That's pretty cool, though.
That definitely didn't look like the missile that he usually has on there either, though.
No, but you never know how many different types of missiles there are now. I mean, the first one, once you shoot one, who knows what you're replacing it with.
And then the dragon comes out of the top of the mountain, and he's, like, spitting, like, throwing up acid.
Yeah, instead of fire.
And it's, like, melting people.
Oh, my God. It wasn't just melting people. They were disintegrating in their speed. They're, like, trying to run out of there. It's like, ah!
The kids were watching this with me, and I was like, close your eyes. Don't look at this.
Yeah, that was unexpected, but really cool at the same time.
Yeah, so then the Mandalorian realizes there's a bantha with a bunch of explosives still on it. So he lures the dragon over. Him and the bantha get swallowed. Right before that, he Han Solo's Timothy Olyphant. He just hits the back of the backpack, and he goes flying off just like Boba Fett did.
Yeah.
That was a nice little homage.
I do love the nods to the other movies. Just a quick nod. Like, he's like, you take care of the child. Bam! Yeah. You're out of here.
Flies away. So he gets swallowed up and then tasers his way back out of the dragon's mouth and then blows it up.
Which was, I mean, you saw it coming. You knew
Yeah.
it was gonna happen,
Yeah.
but I was all like, so everybody else gets disintegrated by this stuff, and it just falls off your armor. What about the soft spots between the armor?
Yeah.
Like anything soft would have been disintegrated. The only thing left would have been armor.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I think we'll see. I think we'll see Timothy Oliphant again. They set that up like they'll meet up again later in the season.
Yeah, I think they did that all last season. Everybody got at least 2.
Yeah, everyone that he met up with
episodes.
through the season came back in the last episode.
Yeah, there was a roundabout. It does. They do a whole round thing. Where they start, they introduce you to a few, and then they come back.
So then, when he's leaving, we see a shadowy figure standing on the mountain. He's got some Tusken Raider weaponry.
Yep.
And turns
Bunch
around.
of scars.
And it's definitely the actor that plays Jango Fett, which is what Boba Fett would look like because he's a clone.
Right.
So I guess more will be revealed to that later. We'll see. That's probably Boba Fett. That's definitely what they want you to think.
I'm definitely leaning towards Boba Fett.
But they've also said that like General Rex is going to be in this season.
Oh.
Who's like the leader of the clone.
He would look exactly the same too.
Yeah, but he has a beard, so this guy didn't have a beard. So
yeah, but Rex has that eye scar.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited to see. I hope it's Boba Fett.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could play multiple characters. You never know.
Yeah, he could play. Yeah, he could play any clone.
He kind of has to play multiple characters if they're going to introduce. Rex is pretty cool though. Rex is a badass character.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the first episode of season 2.
I'm psyched for the next one.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like I said, I hope they don't go down on quality a little bit, but I'm sure they will. I mean, that's just the way it is. That happens with every TV show. But yeah, what should we do? Like some sort of rating system for this?
I mean, how do you rate it? It's 100%.
How many Baby Yodas do you give this? Out of 5?
Out of 5? I give it 5. I mean, it was such a great episode.
5 Baby Yodas.
5.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
5 Baby Yodas.
There he is. All right, so we hope you like this. Like I said, let's keep these short and sweet. Let us know if we missed anything. Let us know if you spotted any Easter eggs in the background. It's always be fun to hear. Yeah. I'm going to put this up on YouTube as well.
Sweet.
Yeah.
My pasty white face.
Yeah. All right, so I'm Josh. We'll see you next week. I'm Josh.
I am Ben.
And this has been your 4 Nerds by Nerds Mandalorian Minute. Peace.
Stay nerdy, my friends.